Hello, happy humans. I will be teaching you how to braid, mainly a Dutch braid, not a French braid. It is kind of like a French braid in the way that it's generally the same concept, just a different way of doing it. So first, if you have thicker hair like me, you're gonna want to take a thicker comb, just so you're not really pulling out all your hair. It's just a lot nicer on your hair, and it'll be a lot easier to get through, so you're not like ripping out half of your head, because that's not fun. Anyway, so I'm just giving it a nice old comb through here. Okay. And what you want to do next is you're going to want to part it down the middle. So, here, I'll just do it down here. Okay, what I normally do, I don't know how other people do it, but I like to do it in the center, just so everything's proportioned fairly even. So and your nose generally falls in the center of your face. So I, align it with my nose and work your way up, and just kind of, eyeball it for the most part. You can make any corrections a little later. Okay. The back side's a little tricky if you are doing it by yourself. Okay. Yeah, that's not sanitary to put it in your mouth, but it's alright. Okay, so we're just gonna adjust a little bloop so I can check to see how I did. Actually, you know what? We're all imperfect people. It doesn't have to be even. Okay. Back to it. So I look like a freak right now. It's fine. So take half of it, or what I like to do is take half of it and put it up, just so it's not interfering with your other braid. Okay, so you're gonna want to put it straight back like this, but be mindful of where that part is. So you're gonna want to take it generally at the middle, take a good sized chunk, not too overly big, because you want to get that nice indent, so it sticks out of your head, just so it's not really flat. So, alright, separate it into 3 relatively even little parts as best you can, and then take one part. So you take, I like to start with the one on the left. Whatever you pick, it has to be either one of these. So pick one, and you kind of want to start a regular braid. So you bring it back like this, and kind of take this, and this goes to the side, and then you go back here, and then you just want to add little pieces as you go, and keep this tight. So I always like to pull it. So keep that tight, keep going, pull, keep going, pull, keep going, and pull. And you'll see this start off, but this looks terrible, so I'm going to restart again. So just same concept, grab, distribute 3 sections, go underneath, not over like you would do a French braid, but underneath so the braid is popping out of your head. But grab tiny little pieces, but keep it tight because your hair might fall out if you don't keep it tight. And you won't get that nice pop. So if you have different hair with a different length, you know, you'll have those pieces popping out. But yeah, just keep going here. I'll turn around so you can see the back. And just keep grabbing, going underneath. Grabbing underneath. Pull, grab, underneath, pull, grab, underneath. So it's pretty simple when you get the hang of it, but it definitely takes practice. You know, it takes practice to get here. It's not always gonna be perfect, so you're gonna wanna keep practicing until you're familiar with your proportions and your own hair type. And then from here, you know, I'll just braid it down. Just keep going underneath. That's the key point. Always go underneath here. Just like to bring it back around. And then underneath. Yep. So there you go. Oh wow, this did not turn out the best. But you know, that's okay. That is okay. It happens. And plus, I'm not gonna see anyone, so it's not like anyone will really care because, you know, coronavirus is a thing. So this is just for you to, you know, start off somewhere and learn a new thing. We are imperfectionists, and I'm glad to be an imperfectionist, you know, because I like little things that are imperfect because perfection is not ideal and everyone has a different idea of it. So my idea of perfection is in the imperfections, things that aren't so straight-laced. So that's my thing. So there's one guy, kind of, you know, turned out a little funky, sticks out a smidge, but that's life. I will do other one fast and get back to you. Another thing I also noticed is that getting your hair wet generally helps. So you want to just wet the comb a little bit, or a lot of it. Just give it a good old comb through, like so, and just keep repeating this process. Or if you have a cup, you know, you want to fill with water and just keep dipping it. I don't have a large enough cup and I'm lazy, so I don't want to go grab one. So that helps too, especially for short hair. Just grab it a little better so the flyaways don't keep popping out, so everything stays in place. So yeah, getting your hair wet will also help you tremendously, just so it's easier to grab, easier to work with. Actually, if you go to a salon and get your hair professionally braided, they will most likely like grease your hair or wet it. So there is like some wax or like a certain type of grease that you will put in your hair depending on the hair type. If it's a little more curly, the grease will help your hair be a little more moldable. So it's not, you know, like the texture of the hair won't necessarily get in the way, but I'm not a professional by any means. I'm just your ordinary, everyday human. I mean, that's even up to question. I'm a pretty interesting person, but anyway, I don't have any, you know, like beauty degree or, you know, went to school for this kind of thing. So anywho, yeah, wettening your hair generally helps. So, you know, get it pretty damp here. And so another thing I also noticed, if you want a more crisp braid, if you really want that braid to pop out, not so like loose, you see how it's a little loose right there, and then it turns out a little more, you can see the braid. In order to get that, you want to work straight up. So instead of, you know, braiding like this, braiding straight up. So that's like why when other people braid your hair, they have an advantage because they're generally standing above you. And so if you're doing your hair yourself, you can kind of fall into the habit of just going slanted, but always remembering to keep it straight up so you have that nice crisp braid. And just drawing this hair back here, grabbing that first chunk. Now it is wet, easier to grab. Distribute into 3 sections and start going underneath and underneath. There we go. And then grab, but keep this straight up like so. Pull. Keep grabbing. Oh boy, that shouldn't happen. Okay, don't know where that guy went. Don't really want to figure out where. Restarting. And that's okay, you know, if you're a newbie, you generally will have to restart, but don't get easily frustrated. This is a process. You have to start somewhere, and you're not gonna be, you know, like a professional braider by the end of this video or your first time. So don't expect that. Just expect that you know the general concept. So the 3 parts, you know, you know how to braid, and just grab, but remember, be straight up and pull, up and pull. That makes a big difference. So straight up, pull, grab, fold, up, pull. Okay. Keep going. Oh boy, this is a process. Underneath, pull. Okay, straight up, pull. Okay. And I've been doing this for years, so I have a general idea of what I like, and what I, you know, have as far as knowing my hair type and what size of chunks to use. But make sure you're not using too much hair at the beginning so you run out of hair to work with at the end. That is also a problem if you are wanting to braid other people's hair. Just make sure you know how much you're working with. So if you have more of a thinner hair type, you're gonna wanna grab less and less, just so you have enough to finish out the braid. If you have thicker hair, like mine, you just grab and go. I just kinda feel it out because I can't necessarily see everything that I'm working with here. I just kind of use it to my best judgment. Alright, and then you finish it off. Okay, and then I like to bring her to the front here, like so, and then just keep going. Alrighty, folks. Kind of like folks, you know, because you're not necessarily referring to a type of gender, but you're referring to just people, folk, you know, like people that walk the earth, and that's who I think we should be referring to. I mean, hey, if you like to talk to your, oh gosh. And you know, sometimes you'll have a few of these nice little stragglers. I will teach you what to do with those, because that can also be a thing to deal with, you know, especially if you're doing your own hair. You will run into more problems than if you were able to see the hair that you were working with. So this is generally the finished products right here, you know. Okay, so, you know, if you're going about your day, doing your thing, you will get some of these guys that will pop out. So I like to take these, kind of see where they're going, see where they are deriving from, kind of wrap them around to the front. Ooh, it's kind of hard to see in this light. Wrap around to the front and kind of grab one of these loops, find your finger in the bottom and kind of push that through the other finger, and then you'll have it a little hidden. But you will also have these guys, so same kind of thing. Figure out where they're going, which side they want to be on, kind of figure that out. So some go here, so grab them and kind of lace them in. Find the nearest, like where they're coming from and what's the best place to pop them in. So same kind of thing, you know, find a loop, put your thumb in one or your pointer finger and kind of like grab it, lace it through, and then just keep wrapping it around the braid, pushing it, kind of wrap, in that hole, push, wrap. And it may look easy for me because I've been doing this for quite some time, but I have gotten layers in my hair throughout the years, so yes, that is a common problem. Yeah, you know, things might not turn out 100% perfect, but that's okay. That's okay, you know, like perfection is a goal that you may or may not reach, but at the end of the day, you should strive to just know that it'll be okay. All right, here we have it, folks. Dutch braids. You're imperfectly perfect Dutch braids. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you found this tutorial of help someone if you don't know how to braid, if you're looking to braid. Yeah. Enjoy your day.